I am literally sitting on the ground right now, so you guys better appreciate what I'm doing for you. I only do it for you guys, okay? Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the Nintendo Wrap, a weekly news show where we wrap up the last week of Nintendo news. So quite a bit of interesting stories this week, especially if you're a Pokemon or a Sonic fan. We got new Pokemon information. We got new Sonic Frontiers gameplay. There was a Sony State of Play that I think has some potentially interesting things that might involve the Switch later on. So let's wrap it up. All right, now just a brief reminder for those of you watching on Friday when I post this, we do have a Mario Strikers First Kick demo beta thing happening over the weekend from June 3rd to June 5th. It's all these like the hourly times that Nintendo likes to do, so I'll pop the times up on screen now for you guys. It's like the hour slots that we see with Splatoon or like the ARMS Test Punch. So if you're interested in playing Mario Strikers a week early, there is that option for you. And going into our first major news story, we have a new trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, the big two holiday games for the Nintendo Switch this year. This trailer revealed quite a bit. We got the new legendaries, Miraidon and Koraidon, a very, very big focus on past and future being the game's main theme, as well as a release date, November 18th. That's not really a surprise to anyone, I don't think, but nice to have nonetheless. We got 3 new Pokemon outside of the legendaries. We have Palmy, the new Pikachu clone, Lechonk, the new hog Pokemon, absolutely huge fan of Lechonk, and of course Smoliv, the small olive Pokemon. All 3 designs are really great, plus I actually personally really like the legendaries as well. So great stuff all around. We have 2 professors, Professor Turo and Professor Sada, once again playing into that past and future theme, as well as our rival who is named Nemona. So still a lot we don't know about this game. It does seem to feature full online multiplayer. The website says that you can tackle the game's story in any order, so we don't know if there's gyms again. There most likely will be. However, it seems as though you'll be able to tackle them in any order like you were able to in a Breath of the Wild type of game. So I hope we see more of the game soon, and as soon as we know more, I definitely will be covering it, because I actually did a full kind of trailer breakdown, 10 things you missed type of video on this, as well as a discussion with Tucker from Backlog Banter, so go check out those. But yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet finally entering its full kind of news hype cycle. Very exciting stuff. Our next news story involves Sonic Frontiers, the new AAA, if you want to call it that, AAA Sonic game from a Sonic team over at SaGa. First released in Sonic Forces in 2017. Of course, we had Sonic Colors remastered in 2021, but first major new Sonic game since 2017. It looks interesting. So this is IGN's first kind of cover game this month. They'll be covering it all month long. So far, we got kind of just a ambient gameplay demo of him just kind of running around the environment, and then we got a battle demo showing off the combat in the game. My first reaction after seeing a little bit of the gameplay that they revealed a couple days ago was pretty positive. Honestly, I was like, okay, that looks good for a Sonic game. I'm not a big Sonic fan, but nice to see they're doing something different. After watching it again, watching it very closely, everything looks very disjointed. It looks very janky. You have these rails, these Sonic Playground rails just floating in the sky, and for me personally, I'm glad they're trying something new, even though not to be that guy, but A, Nintendo hired that man, and B, bro, the piano music, the sad piano music juxtaposed on like Sonic ring sound effects and stuff sounds ridiculous. So they obviously tried to go for Breath of the Wild here, and I don't know if they quite hit the nail on the head. However, I'm glad they're trying something new with Sonic, and I am curious to see where this goes. It is coming to Switch supposedly later this year. After the feedback they're getting from this trailer, I do wonder if they will delay it or if they'll just push it out to just kind of keep with the Sonic the Hedgehog hype that's happening right now, because, I mean, Sonic is big right now. The movies are doing really well. He was in that Chip and Dale movie, which I watched with my girlfriend over the weekend, actually a pretty good movie. I'll be interested to see what they do with the feedback from this first little bits of gameplay we've gotten. All right, our next story is something that I feel like is a bit of non-news, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it, so I wanted to cover it for you guys. Nintendo of Europe has confirmed they will not be at Gamescom in Germany in August. They haven't been there for years, so I don't really think this is news. However, I wanted to just lay it out for you guys. Nintendo doesn't really do events anymore. They don't even show up to conventions, really, from what we've seen over the past 2 years of the pandemic. So to see them not at Gamescom is definitely not surprising. I would hope, you know, I'm recording this on Friday, June 3rd. I'm hoping this time next week we will maybe have seen a Nintendo Direct, but if not, we will certainly get some sort of Nintendo event over the summer. And similarly, although this is a Nintendo news show, of course, there are a couple third parties that matter to Nintendo, Ubisoft being one of them. We have that new Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle sequel. What's it called? Sparks of Hope. That's supposedly coming out this year. It's still slated for 2022. We don't know much about that game. We haven't seen it since it was announced. Ubisoft has confirmed that they won't be having a June showcase. They've been doing this new thing, kind of like a Nintendo Direct called Ubisoft Forward. However, they did say there will be no new announcements, right? And there will be no Ubisoft showcase in the month of June like they normally would for E3. So that could mean a couple things. We could see Mario plus Rabbids at Summer Games Fest. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, but what's more likely is there will be a Ubisoft Forward Nintendo Direct style event probably in July or August would be my guess, because they do have a lot of stuff coming, so we need to see more Ubisoft stuff soon. All right, this one was pretty surprising to me because I haven't really been keeping tabs on it. However, with this new show, I'll start doing that more. Super Nintendo World is opening at Universal Studios in Hollywood in 2023, early 2023 to be specific. They shared some new details as well as showed off the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge ride. Obviously, this launched in 2020 or 2021 in Japan. Kind of got delayed because of pandemic, of course. Same thing with the Western development. We have it coming in Hollywood next year, and then I think 2024, I want to say, in Florida and Orlando. So they're really moving along. The production for this whole thing is kind of really ramped up. I mean, we heard about this, back in 2015, I think. I think Iwata was still president of Nintendo when they announced this partnership with Universal and having these Nintendo theme parks. So cool to finally see this coming to the West. I'm excited. Hopefully next summer I'll be able to conjure up some tickets to fly down to California so I can actually go to Universal. I haven't been to Universal since I think I was 15 years old in Orlando, so I'm definitely overdue for a vacation like that, so Nintendo World will be the perfect time for me. All right, next up, this one kind of went under the radar, but Square Enix actually announced a new remaster for a Romancing Saga game. I have not seen many people talking about this. I don't really know why. I'm not a huge Romancing Saga fan. In fact, I've never played a Romancing Saga game, but this one seems like a pretty big deal in particular. So the remastering Romancing Saga Minstrel song, which I had never heard of, but evidently was actually the first Romancing Saga game in Japan on the Super Famicom, and then later got remade in the West as Romancing Saga, just as the first game on PS2 back in, I think, 2002. So cool to see the first Romancing Saga game kind of coming back in a big way on Switch as well as other platforms later this year, I believe. So pretty cool. Worth noting that the producer of the Saga franchise, Akitoshi Kawazu, has teased more remasters as well as new games, promising a new console Romancing Saga game in development right now. So we still have more Romancing Saga coming. It's awesome to see Square Enix continuing smaller series like this. You know, we're over here begging for these pixel remasters of Final Fantasy, while Romancing Saga, I feel like, gets like a new game almost every year on Switch, be it a port or a remaster. So cool to see Romancing Saga still getting some love. All right, these next two things are pure speculation following Sony's State of Play broadcast that they did the other day, last Thursday. So we got two games announced there that I think maybe don't have a good chance of coming to Switch, but I just want to kind of throw it out there into the ether and talk about it. So great State of Play, by the way. This is a Nintendo show, but I really enjoyed it. Resident Evil 4 looks awesome. So does Final Fantasy 16. However, Capcom and as well as Finji announced two other things for PS4 and PS5 that I think are really interesting. So first up, let's talk about Tunic. So Tunic is coming to PS4 and PS5 in September. That is, of course, the Xbox Game Pass kind of promoted game where you play as a fox, and it is obviously Zelda-inspired. Certainly shouldn't be too hard to get that running on Switch, right? I can't imagine a Switch announcement for that game is out of the realm of possibility, so I think Tunic is not likely for Switch. This is just, of course, baseless speculation based on what the game is, but I think a Tunic port on Switch seems almost inevitable, in my opinion. And then the other game I want to talk about in that presentation that I think actually has a decent chance, I know a lot of people might laugh at me for even saying this, of coming over to the Switch is from Capcom. Of course, not Resident Evil 4, as cool as that would be. I think Street Fighter 6 also could maybe make the way over to the Switch, and I have two reasons for that. One, Street Fighter 5 is exclusive to PS4 and PC. Sony paid for exclusivity on that game, console exclusivity. That is not the case with Street Fighter 6 anymore. The game is coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, as well as Steam. Notice that PS4, though, it's not coming to Xbox One, which is interesting, but it is coming to PS4. The game looks very big, looks very good. Graphically, I think it's very impressive. However, they're still keeping those last-gen versions in line. Street Fighter is a game with a huge online focus. They're showing these new Battle Hub elements. I would not be surprised if they downscale it enough to get it running on Switch with crossplay between everything. There's no crossplay confirmed right now, I don't think, but I would not be surprised if they do that, and I think the Switch would be a great audience for Street Fighter. I mean, we already have all the collections they've done, so not at launch, certainly. I don't think there's any chance of it coming out when the game launches, but maybe like a year after, we could see a late port for Street Fighter 6 on the Switch, or Switch Pro, or whatever the hell is out by then. I just wanted to throw it out there. I do think it is possible that we see Street Fighter come to Switch maybe late next year, maybe early 2024, something like that. Just speculation, but I wanted to bring it up and as an excuse for me to mention that state of play, which was really damn good, by the way. All right, next up, we have something for you Monster Hunter Rise fans. So Sunbreak, of course, is coming out on June 30th, the major expansion to Monster Hunter Rise. The director of the game, Yoshitaki Suzuki, and producer Ryozo Sugimoto, sorry I'm butchering names right now, has confirmed that there will be post-release content updates for that game, so as well as new event quests. So I'm not too in the loop on Monster Hunter Rise specifically. I don't remember if Iceborne had major updates afterwards. However, nice to see that Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak will continue to get updates post-release for what I assume was going to be the major big final update, but Sunbreak really does feel like a whole new game, kind of like Iceborne did. So just throwing it out there, we are getting new event quests and stuff of that nature in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak post-release. We don't know how long those are going to go for. I would assume maybe 6 months or to a year, because you have to assume that Capcom will certainly be wrapping up for a Monster Hunter World 2 at some point on PS5 and Series X. So awesome to see Sunbreak getting the love it deserves. All right, next up we have 3 rumors that I think are worth noting. First up, Midnight Suns, the new Marvel kind of tactical game from the developers of XCOM, coming from 2K, seems to be releasing on October 6th. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm making a new show. I did not even know that game was coming to Switch. Kind of surprising. I know we have Xbox XCOM 2 on Switch, and I think Enemy Unknown, or Enemy Within, whatever it's called, eventually came. I did not know Marvel's Midnight Suns was coming to Switch, so that's news to me. But apparently, according to insiders, the game will be releasing on October 6th. There's a bunch of DLC leaks and stuff, too, going on right now. I would say expect this one to show up at Summer Games Fest, of course, Jeff Keighley's event. I think it's on June 9th of next week. You know, because it's a June 9th every week, apparently. So, yeah, expect to see more Marvel's Midnight Suns soon, with probably a release date. October 6th seems to be about right. We just got it popping up on ratings boards like ESRB and PEGI, so I think a October 6th release date for that game makes sense. There's not much else in that slot right now, in that October window frame for the big third-party boys, so Marvel's Midnight Suns, expect a release date soon. Another thing that I guess is technically a rumor, but in my opinion basically confirms this, Sony's internal database for PSN has updated to show that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is listed for a June 16th release date, so way sooner than I was expecting. They said summer. That's not technically summer, but it is, you know, people assume June is summer, even though it's technically not until June 21st, right? Internally in the Sony PSN database, TMNT Shredder's Revenge is listed as a June 16th release date. So huge for the fans of that game. People have been really excited for that. I think it was supposed to come out last year initially. It seemed to have been gotten delayed. However, I think June 16th makes sense. That's a week after the Summer Games Fest event, so I would not be surprised to see that there with a release date. So expect to be playing that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game real soon. And the last rumor that, once again, isn't technically a rumor, but it seems so unsustained that I'm going to include it here anyway. The CEO of Studio Wildcard, of course, the creators of Ark and the recently announced Ark 2, or I guess not recently, it's been like 2 years, the one with Vin Diesel in it, of course, if you remember that, has just off kind of the cuff said that there's a Switch version. So initially this was assumed to be an Xbox exclusive. However, it sounds as though after the Xbox timed exclusivity, it'll be coming to PS5 as well as Switch. So if you remember back, I think in 2018 or 2019, Ark Survival Evolved came to the Switch, and the port was a disaster. There was a ton of like really bad allegations about like developers not getting paid for that and stuff like that, and then there was no post-launch support. I have heard that apparently they're going to be fixing that original version later this year, so interesting to see Ark 2 maybe coming to Switch. Kind of weird, the CEO of Studio Wildcard just kind of mentioned it, even though it wasn't announced, so I guess it's confirmed. I guess you can't take the CEO as like a rumor. It's technically fact, but we don't know anything other than him saying, yeah, you can come to Switch. So expect Ark 2 on Switch, I guess. Kind of weird, right? 2 smaller news items. So Konami has announced that Super Bomberman R Online will be shutting down. This was like the kind of online version of Super Bomberman R that they initially made for Google Stadia, eventually came to other consoles. That is being shut down, I believe, in September. So if you're playing that, I'm sorry. I can't imagine who is playing that. But worth noting, they also said that there are future plans in place for the Bomberman series. We haven't seen a new game since 2017 with the release of the Switch. So more Bomberman coming, hopefully soon. That'd be nice. And then, of course, during the Star Wars celebration last week, Aspyr confirmed that Knights of the Old Republic 2 will be releasing on the Switch on June 8th. So if you're a big KOTOR fan, this is the first time that game's been re-released since, I think, ever, actually. I think it's just been on the original Xbox and now Switch. So awesome to see that game coming over. I know a lot of people love that game. Of course, Obsidian developed that. Later went on to do Fallout New Vegas, then Outer Worlds, and now they're doing Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. So KOTOR 2 coming to Switch soon, 5 days from when this video goes up. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. All right, and then to wrap us off here, I just want to kind of spotlight a very passionate fan project that kind of touched me on a personal level, even though I didn't use the service that much when I was younger. Flipnote. So Flipnote Archive. Fans have launched a Flipnote Archive that has 44 million Flipnotes saved within it. So I missed this, I guess, but apparently at some point Nintendo was shutting down Flipnote Hatina, which of course was like the website and everything that had all the Flipnotes in it. But yeah, fans have compiled and created new service for Flipnote Hatina, compiling everything from the service. Everything is saved from what I can gather. So that is awesome. Flipnote is a big part of a lot of our childhoods if you grew up with the DSi, so awesome to see this. It's similar to, we had that Miiverse archive come out a while back, so awesome to see Flipnote being archived and preserved like this. And that is going to wrap it up for this week's Nintendo Wrap. If you enjoyed this style of news kind of delivery, let me know down in the comments below. This is the first episode of the show. I plan on doing this weekly every Friday. Let me know where I can go from here. I am literally sitting on my ass right now. I plan to get a stool, by the way. But I thought this would be a nice little backdrop, and, you know, we can have my phone here, and I can just do news. So hopefully next week we have a lot of exciting stuff. Of course, we have Summer Games Fest on June 9th, as well as maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, a Nintendo Direct. So let me know what you guys think this week. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksMedia. Subscribe here for more Nintendo news coverage, as well as other things. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.